All right. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this anti-bloating challenge. And in this video, in this little webinar, this little teaching, I want to teach you how sleep and bloating are related. And I want to teach you the little tricks to reduce bloating through better sleep, and how can actually release trapped fat. Now, if you've never heard of this term trapped fat, you're going to find out today, okay? And those of you that do not know what to do with the meal plans and stuff like that, or how to put it all together, check in the email again, okay? There should be an attachment with a sample meal plan that you can kind of model it after. Now, yours is going to be a little different, but essentially it could be the same thing, okay? It could be the same thing if you want to follow it that way. But anyways, at any matter, we're going to go through this, okay? And I hope you guys get as much value as I put into it, okay? So without further ado, let's just check out really quickly what is the stages of sleep, right? We want to just take a look at what the stages of sleep are, and I want to talk to you a little bit about these stages of sleep and how and what we're talking about, okay? Because I'm going to talk about the circadian rhythm, and it has to do with this particular cycle right here. So stage one in sleep, right, is when you fall asleep and you feel like you're falling sometimes, and you're having like one of those like weird dreams where you're falling and you don't quite hit the floor, but you wake up. That's where you get stage one, okay? So I hope you guys learned this stuff. It's cool. Stage one. Stage two is where your heart rate starts to go down. Body temperature goes down. Still light sleep. You're not quite dreaming just yet. You're just kind of cooling down. This is where your deeper breaths start to come in. And stages 3 and 4 is it's just basically like you're starting to. This is where actually a lot of repair, and this is where a lot of the bloating will go away, okay? Stages 3 and 4, but mostly 5, okay? The circadian rhythm is basically how many times you go through this cycle per night, okay? And you usually go about 3 to 5 times per night through this particular cycle. Now, if you're tired, you're stressed, you're just beaten up, hung up, and ready to go, you can skip these 2 stages and jump right in here. But the fact that you don't get the quality of this stage, you see how it's like 5 to 15 and 5 to 15 and then 10 minutes. You can go from here straight to here and then back out of here throughout the night. And that's why people have that sleep apnea. They deal with that. And people that have an insomniac, they won't go through all the stages simultaneously. Like, they won't go through them effectively and efficiently, okay? Because they have these, like, when you're in this stage right here, it's easy to wake you up. So if you fall asleep with your TV on, or you have your phone light on, or even if you have your social media up and someone just tags you in a post in like 2 in the morning, your light goes off and you're asleep, but the light goes off and the light's next to you, you will wake up, okay, if you're any part of that stage. So it's just by chance. So I always tell people to kind of like turn off your social media thing, just log out, don't look at the screen, because the blue screen will actually keep you up at night. And the longer you stay up, the longer you lose sleep, the more bloated. And I'll talk about specific hormones that cause bloating, okay? All right. Well, now you guys see that. That's pretty cool. You can come back and check it out later. But we're going to go further from this, okay? So how does sleep affect bloating? When you're bloated due to the dietary factors we talked about previously, this happens, okay? Cortisol builds up in your body. Cortisol is that little hormone that's like wreaks havoc on your body. It breaks down muscle. It causes you water retention, which in turn is bloating, right? Stores fat, lower serotonin levels, and I'll talk a little bit more about serotonin in a minute. But when you do not sleep well, you start to crave carbohydrates, and specifically not the good ones, okay? You start to crave like pizzas and pastas and stuff like that, and candies and all those little things you'll start to crave around this time. And even if you don't sleep too much, you'll start to have those cravings, okay? And sleep deprivation causes ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, to go up, okay? So hunger hormone basically means like if that thing is out there, you'll start to get more hungry. Okay. So if how the sleep is going to affect the bloating. Okay. So if you eat too much too late will cause restlessness and bloating, which will keep you awake longer because your body's trying to metabolize the food. Okay. So let's say, for example, you go out to dinner with your buddies or your friends or your family, and you go out to, I don't know, go eat wings at 9 p.m. If you fill up, okay, you're gonna get that big old. People love to fill up, and the reason why people fill up is because it gives them that euphoria, it gives them that serotonin rush, that feel-good hormone. It gives them that euphoric feeling, right? It's kind of like when you have that fullness feeling, like with that big breath, like that big breath right there. That's actually like almost. It's kind of like like recreational drugs to have that particular feeling from food. Okay. And that's why people gain so much weight and keep it on. So anyways, with that being said, let's say you go over there, you eat wings, you have that big old, like that big old, like, yes, I accomplished it. I finished the day. I'm hung up. I'm dried. I'm ready to go to sleep, right? The reason why you're going to sleep is because, not because like the food is putting you to sleep or anything. It's because the blood sugar, your blood sugar has risen and dropped simultaneously. Okay. And that has to do with insulin. So your blood sugar drops and you start to feel sleepy. Okay. But what happens inside your body is that it's starting to metabolize all that food. So if you put a bulk of food and you don't chew, like most people don't, it's going to start to metabolize in your stomach, and your heart rate will go up, and you'll get restless at night, and you'll start to get bloated because you're going to sleep with it still metabolizing. Okay, so that's why I always recommend that you try to like eat at least an hour before, or don't eat something super big or something that's going to give you that big old like deal. Okay, now here's how to get rid of the bloating and combat stress, anxiety, restlessness, and depression. I know it's a lot of stuff that you're going to combat, but this is stuff that you do. The rituals you do are going to dictate your life. Okay, your rituals define who you are. So like if I tell you right now, if I sat in a room and I asked people that worked out 5 times a week to stand up, I'm sure right now you can imagine in your head what they look like. They probably look fit. They're probably wearing a fitted shirt or a fitted dress or something nice, and they look good, and they look like confident in their skin. They just go, it looks like they go to the gym, right? You've seen those people. And that's because of the rituals. Our rituals define us, okay? So I'm giving you some of my rituals that I do that help me get rid of my bloating, my stress, my anxiety, my restlessness, and depression, okay? So I practice meditation or prayer every day. I know it seems a little weird and woo-woo, but it works. I know I was one of those people that didn't believe in it. I started to think, like, what the heck is this about? Like, why am I just going to sit there and be like, I'm the best, I'm the best? But eventually, it's kind of like one of those things where you go to Disneyland and you go through that ride. It's like, it's a small world after all. And you get that song stuck in your head, and eventually you just sing it over and over and over and over. And basically it's put into your mind, and it continuously plays. And the more you tell yourself you're better, you can get rid of it, you're happy, the more you're going to believe it. I know this common like thing, this like meme on Facebook, or like this weird picture that women always share, and they're like, oh, her smiles hide her sadness or something like that. But in reality, the more you smile, regardless of how you feel inside, the more you smile, it's a physiological thing. The more you smile, you will get rid of depression. I know it's so weird, but it happens. Practice that. Practice that. Practice smiling at yourself in the mirror for 20 minutes a day, and I can guarantee it, your depression will go away. Okay, so if you have depression, stress, anxiety, try that. But anyways, I would say practice meditation. I'll tell you why and what you can practice specifically in meditation or prayer. Okay, you don't pray. Most people pray to ask for things to be given to them, but I actually recommend you pray to thank the things that you have right now. Okay, and I'll tell you exactly why in a little bit. But log out of all social medias that you have open. Okay, remember what I told you about how the light actually affects your sleep. If you have the light on, or if you have any lights like you have the TV on and stuff is going on, it's still playing, it's still going to go on in your head, and it keeps you awake. Okay, so when you coming in and out of those sleep cycles, those stages of sleep, it wakes you up. Like having the TV on wakes you up in the middle of the night without you knowing. Okay, and you'll hear something, it'll wake you up, but you won't get up sometimes, but most times it will wake your body up. Okay, so that's why I always recommend turn off the social media, because even if someone tags you like 3 in the morning, you'll wake up. You'll wake up because you'll see the light. Like your body will feel it. You know what I mean? So try it, test it against me. But I can guarantee it, if you do what I'm telling you through this, you're gonna feel drastically different, like night and day. No pun intended. But get the Sleep Cycle app on your phone. It's free. I have it. So it tracks your sleep throughout the night. Okay, and I track this with all the things that I practice. And after practicing all these things that I just told you, my best sleeps came from this. Okay, and this is how I sleep better. I sleep more fully, and I don't even have to have the 8 hours of rest. I can sleep 4-6 hours of rest, and I'll wake up refreshed. Okay, and this is how I do it. Take 20 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. So you want to do that about 20 times. Just sit at the edge of your bed and just relax. And then you want to start to feel your shoulders just kind of sit down, and your arms start to relax, and all that day that you had is coming to an end, and you're about to hang it up, and just relax and chill out for the rest of the 8 hours before you have to get back into it. But this next 8 hours, this next hour is all yours. So anyways, that's what you want to do. Take those deep breaths. By the time you know it, you'll be asleep. Okay, take melatonin if necessary. I take melatonin. I love it because it helps me reset my circadian rhythm, because I'm not always sleeping on time. It helps me get back on time. Okay, exercise early, because if you exercise too close to bed, your heart rate will be raised for a lengthened period of time, and it'll be more difficult to go to sleep. Okay, so finish your gallon of water and get some more if possible. Okay, you want to make sure you get this water in. You want to get some water in to kind of flush out all the bad stuff that you had ate throughout the day, or if you ate some stuff bad at the night, or if you just took those magnesium, you want to make sure that you ate with it. But if you took your magnesium, you want to make sure you ate. But even if you ate, you want your body to still break it down, and you want to push it out, and you want to clean out your gut, right? So you drink that water, and it's going to help you push out all the bad toxins in your stomach. And last but not least, make sure your meal leading up to bed is very light. Okay, eat some nuts, have magnesium in it, or take your magnesium at this time, because it's going to allow the smooth muscle to contract. So smooth muscle is the muscles that like they're involuntary. Okay, so these are muscles that contract without you having to, like, if you pick up a weight, like, you have to manually contract your muscles, but your heart beats without you having to tell it to beat, and that's an involuntary muscle. And so when you take magnesium, this helps your heart rate, this helps your heart beat better, and it helps you digest better, because your smooth muscle, which, you know, when you're pushing stuff out of your gut, your small intestine, your large intestine are smooth muscles, so they help push stuff out of your gut. Okay, so that's why magnesium is very good, zinc is very good, and that's why I told you guys to get it. Okay, now wait, listen to this. Okay, coaching tip: melatonin is typically used to reset the circadian rhythm. Remember, I was talking about the circadian rhythm being how it takes you from stage 1 to REM sleep and then back again. Okay, so you normally go through this 3 to 5 times per day, per night on average. Okay, so if you don't go through that, I recommend at least taking a melatonin, 5 milligrams to start off, maybe even less, if you're not accustomed to taking like sleeping stuff. Now you can do this without. You can do it without melatonin. I just take melatonin just so I can get back into it. Okay. But if you're not accustomed to it, I would say, you know, maybe 2 milligrams and 5 milligrams, not 10 milligrams, because I don't want you to sleep through your alarm clock. Okay. Now, here are two hormones that actually help you with sleep, okay? Tryptophan, which makes serotonin, and serotonin, which is this feel-good hormone, helps you relax. This is why when you eat a huge meal, you get that big old like euphoric feeling, because serotonin is pumped through your body and it primes your body to relax, okay? And so like if you stressed all day, food puts the blood through your stomach, and like the serotonin will be pumped out and it helps you relax, okay? So if you have low serotonin, you're often going to be restless, you're going to have sleep apnea, you're going to overeat, you're going to have high ghrelin and high cortisol, okay? So melatonin actually helps build serotonin as well. So I'm not trying to sell you guys on melatonin. If you guys don't take it already. Okay, if you have problems with that, like I said, you have to make sure that your doctors approve all these things that I'm telling you. I'm just telling you from personal experience because I want to help you guys out in every way, shape, or form that I can. Okay, so with that being said, let's go on to the next one. How to reduce stress to release trapped fat and relieve bloating. So real quick, what is trapped fat? Trapped fat is like that fat that's cut around the hips, thighs, and upper arms behind the armpits areas for women, okay? So like, you know, the pooch stomach that women have, the like bye-bye bat wing, the bat wing that women have, like the prom queen swing, we call it sometimes, you know? The tricep fat, that's where women store their trapped fat most times, okay? And men, they stick it around their gut and their lower back, right? So if you have a big belly for a guy, or you have like lower back fat, that's trapped fat, okay? So now how do you get rid of it? It comes down to three basic things that I cover in great depth in my trapped fat solution course, which if you want in on it, just send me an email saying you'd like to purchase it, and I'll point you in the right direction for that. But anyways, the three things you need is to release the stubborn fat, or the trapped fat, is to break down the fat, to transport it, and to use it, okay? Now, when you're bloated, you cannot break down the fat, okay? When you're bloated, that cortisol builds up, and it actually reduces your ability to release the trapped fat. So this is another reason why you want to take a nap or sleep better, because it actually helps you lose weight. When you sleep better, you're gonna be less stressed, and when you have less stress, you'll have less cortisol, okay? You'll be able to repair your body better. That sleep is going to help you like heal itself, okay? And it's going to heal itself by allowing it to release the trapped fat and relieve the bloating, okay? So without the breakdown, you can't move fat out of the body, okay? And then you can't use it ultimately, so it becomes trapped, okay? So back to sleep and how it traps fat and causes bloating. So remember when I talked about cortisol? Well, cortisol is that hormone that breaks down muscle and causes havoc in your body when your body's tired, like too much working out or not enough sleep. So when cortisol is high, your bloating will be at an all-time high. It's almost inevitable. So if you have a lot of stress, you're going to be bloated, okay? So practice those anti-stress things, practice the sleep, but the only way to combat this is to practice ways of not getting anxiety and stress. Now, I know in the world we live in today, how are we supposed to do that? Now, if you refer back to those 9 things I talked to you about that do before bed to help with bloating, you'll notice a lot of them have to do with unwinding and de-stressing, which helps regulate water fully, which basically helps you with cortisol. Cortisol retains water. So if you lower cortisol, you allow water and bloating to go away. Okay, so now you know what trapped fat is and how sleep is related to bloating. I need you to do this, okay? Set a time frame that no matter what you'll be doing, you'll be getting to bed at a certain time frame, okay? So make sure it's like an hour window. So if you usually get in bed by 10, make sure it's from 9 to 10 p.m. that you're going to be in bed no matter what, okay? Once you set your foot down, you make sure that central nervous system and your psychology says that this is the time I'm going to bed. Make sure that you stick to that. Even if you don't, try to make it a point that you at least try your best to do it, okay? So it would help you get regulated. And like I said, the rituals define who you are. So if you do that as a ritual, you're going to be more successful in everything you do. I can guarantee it. Your rituals will define your life, okay? So the people that are successful have great rituals. They do the same thing over and over and over until they get where they want, okay? So the reason why I'm where I'm at right now is because I have certain rituals, okay, that help me get there. Try to make your room completely dark. Now, some of you guys do sleep with the TV, and I, at least for this anti-bloating challenge, try to turn the TV off or keep your room dark so that you're not waking up to like small lights. I know a lot of women are easy sleepers. They wake up for anything. Guys, we can sleep through anything. Get your magnesium in a fresh glass of water, okay? Not flavored water, just water, okay? I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, water, I can drink the stevia water or something like that. Don't drink that. Just drink regular water. There's nothing wrong with it. You'll be okay. You won't die, okay? Log out of all social media, news, and updates 30 minutes before bed and try to turn off the TV. Even when you're asleep, the light keeps you from entering a deep sleep. Okay, practice daily gratitude. Remember I was talking about prayer and meditation? Well, when you practice gratitude, when you're grateful, there's a certain hormone in your body, in your brain, that reduces the stress. It actually produces some types of hormones that cause happiness. Okay, so when you're grateful for things, you physically cannot be stressed. Okay, so it's very, very profound, but it's very, very tough to do if you not practice it. So I guarantee it, if you practice at least being grateful for living, for breathing, for having a family that loves you, even if you hate their guts, they still love you. If you practice that every day, I promise you, you're gonna be a happier human. You're gonna have less cortisol. You can get rid of the bloating. You're gonna release trapped fat. Everything's gonna go in your favor. I promise. If you just practice daily gratitude. Don't exercise too close to bed. About an hour before, if you have to. If it's already 9, I would just say take like a small little 20-minute walk. Don't get too crazy with it. Don't eat high-fat foods, fried foods, or even sodas before bed. Okay, try to limit the sugar consumption around bedtime. Stretching, reach for your toes. Put your hands high in the air and just kind of put your arms across the chest. Just for now, it's fine. We're gonna get into stretching, how it releases the bloating and the trapped fat later in this challenge, but. With that being said, take your melatonin or drink a soothing tea with some peppermint in it, peppermint oil, okay? So, with that being said, I know I gave you guys an earful. You can go back, watch this video, have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did teaching it. I hope you have an awesome time with this challenge. And like I said, I sent out an email. I'll tell you exactly, if you're having a hard time, don't worry. Take the step back and be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start the challenge tomorrow. I didn't know how to do it. Now I know how to do it. Daniel, you sent me out the meal plan. And that's on my end. That's me. That's my fault if I didn't do it correctly for you to understand it fully. But here's the beauty of it. You have another day. You can try it again. You can start from the beginning and give yourself that 7 days. Okay, give yourself that 7 days and say, look, in 7 days, I'm going to have no more bloating. I'm going to feel happy, healthy, and I'm going to feel like on top of the world, okay? So do that for yourself. Do that for me. And I want to know your biggest struggle with bloating and when do you feel it most. So send me an email at support@tapiafitness.com, and I will see you in the next email. So this is me signing out, your coach, Daniel Tapia.